Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with your final hot take of the evening. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books, Wokistan, a novel, and of course the Pineys, books 1 through 5, now available at Amazon.com. Ebook and trade paperback, including book 5, is now available. Beer virus stuff. Joe Biden, beer virus advisor, urges national lockdown for 4 to 6 weeks. What does this mean? Well, this means, I think, worldwide depression. I mean, look, the economy was running strong under Trump and it survived the lockdown, even though it went on far too long, in my view. There is a sufficient amount of evidence now to suggest that the lockdowns are not good. Not good. They were good for as a temporary measure to lower the curve, get things under control, buy people some time. Now it's pointless. It's pointless because, for the same reasons it was probably pointless to begin with, you can't keep this virus locked down. You can't. It's extremely contagious. It has a 2-week incubation period. That hasn't changed. Up to 2 weeks. You could be walking around for up to 2 weeks. You have no idea you have it. And you could be spreading it around. Now, yes, people are taking precautions. They're wearing masks. They're social distancing. And that's all good, I guess. But the problem is people can only do that so long. They make mistakes. They take their mask off. They get lazy. I mean, where I work, people come in and out. Sometimes they forget the mask. Sometimes they got the shirt up over their face. Sometimes their mask falls off, or they cough inside their mask. People, you can't worry about this virus nonstop. You just can't. And 4 to 6 weeks is not going to do it. It's not. And you can't stop everything for 4 to 6 weeks again. Things are just getting back to normal. Kinda, sorta, not really. People have lost their jobs and businesses. You have to let this play out. There will be more people who die from suicide, from stress and depression, and just outright, they don't have jobs, they don't have homes, they don't have businesses anymore. You can't, that, again, sadly, Trump was right again. You can't let the cure be worse than the disease. So, will Biden actually lock down? Well, his advisors are urging him to lock down. This could all be political posturing on the part of Biden. Like, Trump is out there opening things up, and he's going to come in and lock things down. But at the last second, it's going to be like, oh, well, it turns out the science says, oh, we got this vaccine. Oh, the vaccine's working now. I mean, you could see the reversal that was coming with this new vaccine announced right after the election, 90% effective. They had an article a few days before, indoor concerts may be okay again. But, it'll depend on the results of Trump's lawsuits. Biden is like a lot of politicians. They're just positioning. They don't care about you. They don't care about the lockdown. They don't care if it stays or it goes. Whatever gets them more power. Whatever allows them to do more things. Now, a lockdown would give Biden more power. But there's a limit to that. If he locks everything down unnecessarily in the face of overwhelming scientific evidence and people just finally snap and start, tearing their mask off and saying, F you, Joe Biden, that's counterproductive. But I don't know. I don't know if his advisors are really serious about 4 to 6 weeks. A national lockdown. Can you imagine being home for 4 to 6 weeks again? A national lockdown. And they're saying, like, part of the problem was we didn't lock down enough last time. So even more things would be closed. And even more supply line change would collapse. I mean, that's crazy. That's just suicide. It's economic suicide. While the world doesn't do anything, China isn't going to stop. You think China's going to shut down for a second? They're laughing at us. And here's another one of his beer virus advisors who wrote this article: Why I Hope I Die at 75. Well, there's a cheery thought. By Ezekiel J. Emanuel. I guess fine, dude. If you want to like end it at 75, as a libertarian, I support your right to do so. But hey, I don't think you should be advising the government on medical issues because I think you're out of your mind. Okay? I'll ask you again when you're 75 and feeling pretty spry, maybe. You seem pretty healthy. If you want to really die. I mean, that kind of argument is an argument that society and families and you will be better off if nature takes its course swiftly and promptly. Look, I'm all for people being able to end their own life, but Jesus, man, making that argument like as someone who may be part of a government administration, it's pretty draconian. Maybe you shouldn't be smiling so much when you're making that argument. And finally, in my state, I didn't do a Piney podcast, but New Jersey expands beer virus travel quarantine list to 45 states. This is how insane my tyrant governor is. 45 states. Non-essential travel from Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and Delaware is also highly discouraged. Murphy added 2 states this week, Maine and New Hampshire, raising the total states and territories, including in the advisory, to 45. It's ridiculous. It's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. It does nothing. You can't restrict travel to and from New Jersey. You can't. Okay? All he's doing is he's setting up people to be punished. So if you go to another state and you come back and you're sick and you don't tell anybody and someone gets the beer virus, then they're going to come down on you like a bag of hammers and say, aha, you're a responsible sickie. The only states that could appear on the list but don't are Vermont and Hawaii. A 14-day quarantine for travelers from these states is not reasonable in all instances, says Murphy. Yeah, no kidding. In what circumstances would it be reasonable at all, Murphy? Okay, it's not reasonable if they're coming to here on vacation, not like you're welcoming anybody. It wouldn't be reasonable if they moved here. They have to get their life together. It wouldn't be reasonable if they just came to visit relatives. What are you going to quarantine for 14 days, then do the visit, and then go home? You're talking like a month. It's just so idiotic. Beer virus cases are up to 3,877. Wait, is that from today? I don't even know. Look, I don't trust any of the numbers coming out of Murphy's office. Let me do a quick search for beer virus numbers here. I don't trust any of their numbers because I've shown in the past how they jacked up the numbers. Let me see if we can get a good number here. Hospitalizations are up as second wave hits. New restrictions loom. Blah blah blah. Let's see if Yahoo has something. So you can't get straight numbers. Like, why wouldn't you put the numbers right in the top of the story? And yeah, they're not here. New hospitalizations come on Tuesday. Announced its highly daily okay, so that is the daily total. 3,877 in the state's highest death toll since July 21. Okay, that's still higher. But again, so are the cases. So as a percentage of deaths in the cases, it's lower. It's still lower. Okay? And it's not that much higher. I mean, I feel for anyone who's had relatives who have passed on. but we already know why. It's because they have comorbidities, or they're elderly, or both. And Murphy's not doing jack all to keep the nursing homes isolated and safe. The money he's pouring in to closing the state, the money he's killing in the state, could be tax revenue that could be used to help those nursing homes, to help people with comorbidities. I mean, I would rather have him straight up be given money to people who have, say, diabetes and are morbidly obese, to have their homes, remodeled a little bit so they could have visitors or whatever. I mean, I don't know what you could do, but restricting the bars to 10 p.m. is insanely stupid and counterproductive. And that's what all these idiot governors are doing around here. I mean, Cuomo's doing the same thing. 10 o'clock curfew. Why? What's the scientific reasoning behind it? Does the virus get worse at 10 o'clock when everybody's drunk and trying to hook up? No. If anything, those people, if they're infected, they're already infected, Murphy. There's nothing you could do to help them at that point. You just tell everybody to social distance, wear a mask, and wash their hands. That's all you can do. That's it. That's the extent of what you can do. And help the nursing homes and the comorbidity people. But no, you want to make a big show. Look at me. I'm quarantining. I'm quarantining the state, everyone. Re-elect me. Oh, I hope I die at 75. Aren't I wonderful? Ask me again at 75. Oh, let's lock down the entire country for 4 to 6 weeks. And note how he says 4 to 6 weeks. Well, we'll think about it. 4 to 6 weeks to 8 weeks to 10 weeks. This is about power. When you give politicians power, they are loath to give it up. Murphy has all sorts of emergency powers now. He renews them every 30 days like clockwork. Oh, viruses are gone. Keeping the power. These people are sick. Okay? These people are sick. They're power hungry. They shouldn't be allowed to do this. They're not allowed to do this. This is unconstitutional and wrong. And I can't wait for the big reversal. I can't wait to see that Trump wins election. And this is another thing you should think about, Democrats. You'll be avoiding this draconian lockdown, which would do nothing but hurt the country and hurt you.